Do you think the Calder downtown, Grand Rapids, should actually be purple? Do you want your say in what color historical landmarks around GR should be? Well, great, you can do that and not make it permanent. There's a new coloring book featuring Grand Rapids, and joining me is the creator, David Kranker. Good morning, David. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me. Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. Even as adults, many of us still love to color. I love when my toddler says, "Hey, Mom, you want to color?" I'm like, yeah, that's such a relaxing thing to do. So tell me a little bit more about you and kind of how you were inspired to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I had before moving to Grand Rapids, I lived in Chicago for 6 years, and then ended up moving here. And when I moved here, I was like, wow, this is just infinitely better. I fell in love with the city. You know, it's got that great mix of, the urban downtown, but also there's so many places to hike and so much beautiful nature. You know, Lake Michigan is nearby and everything. And I was amazed. And I knew that, I wanted to capture the city that I fell in love with in a meaningful way. So this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. When quarantine hit and I had a little bit more free time on my hands, as I'm sure many of us did, I thought, this is the perfect time. I didn't know how long all of this was going to last. I thought, maybe by the time I completed this book, it would be over. But I'm glad I now have this book because I can spend my time indoors coloring. And I'm sure other people have enjoyed that as well.
I love it. I love it because it's bold. You can make it as bold as you want, but it's very simplistic too. It's big enough so like even the littlest of hands can still, do a great job of coloring this. So tell us about the creative process that went into this book.
Yeah, so what I ended up doing was, again, right when quarantine hit, I went out and I started taking pictures of, various parts of the city, the Blue Bridge, just things that I couldn't normally get when there's a lot of people. And then I also combed through some of my old photos where, you kind of want more people, like Rosa Parks Circle, for instance, just looks better with people in it. So I took those photos and then I reached out to some local businesses that I thought really should be included in the book that are kind of staples here. So like Meyer, Founders Brewery, Brewery Vivant, and asked them for photos of their locations, and they were able to send it. So once I had those photos, I kind of illustrated everything in Adobe Illustrator to be as accurate as possible to the actual photos. And then got it printed, and that was a pretty long process. It started late March and then finished on Halloween.
We're going to look right now of kind of some of the process of you going ahead and creating all this. That was kind of one of my next questions too, is kind of like, so these aren't your hand drawings, but you were able to go in and actually do all the work on the computer.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is really great. So where can people grab this?
So they can get it on my site, colorgr.com. Or if you want to pick it up in person, there are a few locations selling it. So Brewery Vivant is selling it, Duffield Lane is selling it, Blue Bridge Games is selling it, and the Public Museum will soon be selling it in their gift shop. I would absolutely recommend picking it up at Brewery Vivant if you can, because all of their profits are going to help support their furloughed workers.
I love that too. All right, well, thank you. Nothing like grabbing a pint and or a growler to go and grabbing the coloring book too. Thanks so much for your time. I love the book.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, colorgr.com.